Yo, dude, Oren here. So we were just starting this stream game. So I just ended the other stream I was doing. I kind of had to set some things up, start off my snacks, update my snacks and everything. And now we're here. We're watching the 49ers and Eagles game. And it looks like the Eagles are having the ball first. It's 11:42 to go. DeAndre Swift just had a carry, and yeah. Third and 5 for the Eagles. Gainwell, screen pass, gets a first down and more. And in case you didn't see it on my previous stream, I bought Benchwarmer Brew coffee, the most recent version from Brandon Porter's online coffee shop. Smells really good. I don't have a coffee maker, though, so I can't actually try it and taste it yet, but I plan on it. And I plan on using this to try to get Perna to raid me during the Broncos and Lions game. So be on the lookout for that. And then instead of 5 players to watch, shorts, and primetime preview stuff, I'm going to try something a little different. Stay tuned for that stuff. So Hurts has to throw it away after being pressured. So who do you guys want to win this game if you're a Lions fan? Do you want Philadelphia or San Francisco? If you want to go for the 1 seed, maybe you root for San Francisco. If you're trying to get to the 2 seed, then maybe you root for Philadelphia. So, and then it really just depends. I'd rather have like the number 1 seed, obviously, if I can. So with fitting with the Lions theme, being aggressive, go and get the best thing you can, You want to root for Philadelphia to lose so that you can have a chance at the 1 seed. So that's what I would say, which is why I guess I'll root for San Francisco for this. And then depending on whether you want to be the 2, 3, or 3 seed, Swift is running around the edge, goes out of bounds. It depends on who you'd rather face in the postseason, whether that be Dallas or Minnesota or Seattle. So as far as which team's the easiest, probably Minnesota, but you'd be playing Minnesota in 3 of your last 4 games at that point in the season. However, just out of sheer hatred and sheer revenge against the Seahawks, I hope the Lions face the Seahawks in the first round so that they can actually beat them. Because it's long overdue. I'm going to post that question in here. Oh, pass deflected in the end zone. Intended for A.J. Brown, who's wearing pink cleats. Here comes the field goal unit. Three 0 Eagles. Yeah, it was getting hot in my room, so I wear the white Lions villains jersey when the Lions play on the road. And then at home games, I wear the Jack Campbell jersey. So, and this is a non-Lions game, so it's irrelevant what I wear during those games. So, Beast, you don't have to answer that question because I already know what you prefer. So, all right. I'm going to check in on some of the scores of some of the other games because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I was trying to restock on my snacks, so I have fruit now and another fresh fresh cup of tea and then had to clean this up. Oh, Tank Dell's out for the season, apparently. That's unfortunate news. Kenny Pickett left the game with an ankle injury. We know Carr left because of the Lions. Sideline official injured after collision. Yep, that happened too. Pats running back Stevenson, Hurts ankle. Commanders running back Robinson ruled out. Patriots turn to Zappe at quarterback but lose to Chargers. Okay. And as far as the scores go, Arizona is crushing Pittsburgh 17-3, 4:52 in the third quarter for that game right now. That game is going very slow. Didn't that start earlier? Tampa Bay is beating Carolina right now. That's 7-0. That's in the first quarter. And we know Philadelphia just kicked a field goal. Cleveland has a touchdown over the Rams right now. Dallas beat Seattle 41-35. We all knew that from Thursday. Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0. Ooh, final overtime. The Colts actually came back and beat the Tennessee Titans. All right. Houston beat the Denver Broncos. They ended their winning streak 22-17. Detroit beat New Orleans. We all know that. Atlanta defeated the Jets 13-8. Miami defeated the Commanders 45-15. Aaron Andrews, the premier sideline reporter, I think. His arm simply couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm rooting for the 49ers because I want a better chance at the number one seed. Just like Dan Campbell and his aggressive style for the offense, I have the same aggressive mindset for wanting to get the top seed. So, and the best route to do that is for the current top seed to lose, which is just so happens to be the Eagles right now. So, yeah, it means the 49ers will be the clear-cut 2 seed, but, there's still a whole third of the season left to go to get the 1 seed. But, yeah, that's my thought process with that. I know some people out there probably want the 49ers to lose so that we'd probably have a better chance at the 2 seed. Brock Purdy's sacked, by the way. Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox. This is a Clash of the Titans type of game right here. And yes, red is my favorite color. But, yeah, the 49ers wear red, but this, I swear, is just a coincidence. The fact that I'm wearing red is a coincidence, even though I'm rooting for the 49ers, who also have red on their jerseys. 3rd and 12 for the 49ers. Purdy under center. No, he's in shotgun. Excuse me. Passes, lobs it up. Over the receiver out of bounds. That was a 3 and out. Be 4th down. I got blueberries I'm snacking on now. They putted it away. I love the music that they play right before they cut to commercials, like din, 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 din. Gives a nice beat to transition into the break. I forgot what was. Oh yeah, I can't wait for all the post game Lions content to show up because I love watching that stuff. The post locker room celebration, Dan Campbell's press conference. I only ever watch Dan Campbell's because he's the most compelling one to watch in a press conference, as we all know. And if I need to get specific information from a certain player or a certain coach, then I'll watch it for that. But they just showed an Aquaman preview, so I'm not invested in any DC movies or anything like that, but I'll go and watch it, just because it's something to do. That's what I did during New Year's Eve back in 2018, 2019, when the first Aquaman movie came out, and I went and did that, and then I went to a bar. I was living in Iowa at the time, so Iowa's got some pretty sweet movie theaters. I don't think he'll get many streamers in this game just because now Tom Grassi is streaming this game. He wasn't streaming earlier, as far as I could tell, because his Packers are playing in the Sunday Night Football game. So against the Chiefs. So good luck to the Packers against that game. I mean, if the Packers can beat the Chiefs, because the Lions have beaten the Chiefs earlier this season, then maybe the Packers might be onto something. But, time will tell. And for the record, I would love it if the Lions did face the Packers in the playoffs, because Dan Campbell's Lions currently is 4-2 against the Packers. I'm just saying. They're talking about the playoff picture. First and 10 for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts yelling stuff with the captain C on his set to 26. Oh, fumble, but he picks it up. Processing. Going to his right. Gets rid of the ball. Goes out of bounds. I feel like the start of this game is just going to be the equivalent to two chest sides moving their pawns out. It'll be boring, but it'll set up a bunch of other stuff later. Because there are so many good defensive players covering so many good offensive players that it's tough to get through your progressions if you're a quarterback. 2 years ago when Goff first joined the team, he checked down so often because he didn't have any options to throw to because the receiving core was so bad at the time. So that's the idea there. Hurts scrambling, almost got sacked, but he's running, gets 6 yards, goes out of bounds. Third and 3. Philadelphia calls a timeout. So I got to say that edge rusher the Lions signed a little bit ago, I'm still kind of struggling to remember his name, but he seems to be a productive force when it comes to passing the pass rush. He did get a sack, but he also did get a roughing a passer, which took that quarterback out of the game. And it's kind of like, okay, do you need to coach this veteran player to understand what the new rules of roughing the passer for the quarterback is like, So, but I'm sure. I think his name's Irving. He'll do good stuff for us. Third and 3. Brown gets it on the slant, first down and more, right above the Eagles logo at the 50. Whoever wins this game could shape up how the top seeds of the NFC will shape out. Hurts scrambling again. Gets rid of the ball, passes it, first down to DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith, I think, is the Derek Jeter of the Eagles, in my opinion. The Eagles have a lot of good players, but I think DeVonta Smith is the heart and soul of that team. I want to check out the standings real quick because I want to see if the 49ers beat the Eagles, how much will that affect the standings? Boston Scott gets the carry for a few yards there. Oh, they put the Lions at this 2 seed because they already have the win, but things will get updated later on. So if the 49ers win, then they would be 9-3 along with the Lions. But the Eagles would be 10-2. So the Eagles would still technically be the number 1 seed, but the Lions would still get closer to getting the number 1 seed in that instance. However, if the Eagles win, then they go to 11-1, then they'd probably be the number 1 seed by at least 2 games. But the Lions would probably be the number 2 seed. They definitely would be the number 2 seed. Third and 5. Hurts gets rid of the ball. Passes caught to DeVonta Smith. First down. '49ers pass rush is effective, but Hurts is able to get around it just enough. First and 10 at the 29-yard line. Hurts gets the bust. And Smith catches it again, gets another first down. It was almost picked or deflected, but Smith just caught it inches. DeVonta Smith, I'm telling you guys. I wonder where we're going to see the brotherly shove again. Gets it to A.J. Brown, few yards there. Yeah, sure. Definitely. I think it was a mistake by the Titans to trade him, and he made them pay for it. And then when they destroyed the Titans last season, the Titans fired their general manager because of that trade. And now the Titans are a bad team when they were like a top of the division type of team. 2nd and 6. Hurts pointing around as he's processing. He stumbles on himself. Kinlaw gets the credit for the sack on that, but Hurts stumbles by himself. I wonder if teams practice that sort of stuff in practice where they extend the plays and the receivers like know where to go or where to keep going, you know? You would think they would. 3rd and 21. A lot of passing from Hurts in this game. Completes the gain well, but won't be enough for a first down. Field goal unit comes out again. Yeah, Hurts really shot himself in the foot on that previous play. Strawberry. Look who it is, Jake Elliott. He's a team captain. He wears number 4. He kind of has a beard, I guess. 39-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. But there's a flag on the play. Offside defense. We are in the beginning of this chess game, of this pitcher's duel. There will be a breakout at some point in the game, but we're early in the game where it's just moving pawns out and, getting those occasional first downs and the field goals. Because both these teams have really good offenses and really good defense. And this is why we all tune in, because we want to see these two titans of teams duke it out and see which one is the better one. Excuse me. Yep. As does any team that scores, really, when it's a close game, What should have been should have been the primetime game. Yeah. Yeah, but instead it's the game of the week on Fox. Instead, we got the Chiefs and the Packers because Packers are a large fan base in Green Bay, as well as the Chiefs now having their large fan base. But the two best teams are playing right now on game of the week. Yeah, maybe there should have been some flexing of some sort, but it is what it is. I think a big part of it, too, is that it depends on if it's a game played on the East Coast or the West Coast. This game just so happens to be on the East Coast, and it's much easier, I think, to make a primetime game like a West Coast game, because of the time zones. Yes, definitely. That one got flexed on Saturday, too. That's why I'm trying to change up my primetime videos to try to include all of them in the same video, because there's going to be more Saturday games and there's going to be more teams playing during primetime and that sort of thing. And I want to try to get it all. I want to try to get it all in an organized way, if that makes sense. And I want to stop doing it to where it's like who has the better offense, who has the better defense, who are the top players to watch. And I'm going to switch it to 5 facts about this game. 5 interesting facts to kind of keep us going. And then at the end of the season, I'll put up a poll asking my viewers, which type of primetime preview video do you prefer? And then we'll kind of see from there. And then I'll know for next season. Because Because when I started doing this at the beginning of the year, I had like a handful of ideas I wanted to try and see which ones, work best and which ones don't work best. So. The 49ers I kind of like, though, just because they built their team in a way that I would, where you don't have to depend on your quarterback for everything, like what happened with the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Like you could plug in any quarterback in there and then still have the same amount of success. There's a tackle for loss there. It's like when you're electrician setting up wires. You pull out one wire, it's a series circuit, and then the whole thing goes dead. But if you set up like a parallel circuit, multiple wires doing multiple things, one wire goes out, and then you still have lights. That's kind of the way I view rebuilding an NFL team. And the Lions have been doing that, and I think they've, for the most part, done a good job of it so far. Purdy passes it. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Kittle dropped it, and the Eagles almost intercepted it. Purdy scrambling to his right. Gets rid of the ball, going deep. Goes out of bounds. It was a 3-and-out, which was unsuccessful. Punt is up. Catches it at the 33, and he gets tackled immediately. We shall feast on Brock Purdy, is what the Eagles are saying. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Or as a journalist would say when they get a stack full of confidential data, dig in. I know, because I was a former journalist, so. Yep. That's why everything starts with the O-line when you're rebuilding a successful team. So I think the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers a few years ago because the Buccaneers were able to get through their offensive line and keep putting pressure on Mahomes, if I remember right. I actually did not watch that Super Bowl, but I heard that was the main story for what happened in that game. So, and I didn't watch it because I believe I was grading papers at the time for an adjunct college instructor job that I had at the time. So as I was saying when I looked at the standings, if the Eagles win, they would be the number one seed by like two teams in the NFC. But the Lions would be the number 2 seed because San Francisco's record would be worse and they'd have 4 losses. However, if the 49ers beat the Eagles, then the Eagles would still have the number 1 seed, but not by a whole lot. And the Lions would be closer to getting that number 1 seed, although San Francisco would move ahead of the Lions in that race in that instance. But like I keep saying, if I get a chance to get a number 1 seed, then that's what I would prioritize over everything else, because that means you get a home playoff game in the divisional round. And when's the last time the Lions have made it that far in the postseason? Good job by the gunner. Something I didn't mention in the Lions game, I feel like Goff likes to target his favorite receivers, which is St. Brown and Laporta and those people, but he doesn't target Jameson Williams enough. He targets him sometimes, but not nearly enough. And they rely on like jet sweeps and similar plays for JMO. But Peoples-Jones is out there too. And there's times when he's open in the red zone, but he'll still try to get it to St. Brown. I think they got to try to get Peoples-Jones a little bit more of an opportunity when they're open in those instances. Just my 2 cents there for anybody who cares and who's watching. Third and 6 for the Eagles, by the way. First quarter is over. I'm going to bring up some of the stats of this game so far between the Eagles and 49ers. First downs. San Francisco has 0, while Philadelphia has 7. Total plays. Eagles have 24, while San Francisco has 6. Total yards. San Francisco has -6, while the Eagles have 124 yards. Eagles have had 3 drives, while San Francisco has 2. Passing yards, Eagles have 105. San Francisco has -2. Rushing yards, San Francisco has 19. San Francisco has -4. The Eagles are 0 for 2 in red zone attempts. San Francisco hasn't had a chance to get into the red zone yet. No penalties on either side. No turnovers. Time of possession, Philadelphia 12:57 and San Francisco 2:03. So Philadelphia seems to have the edge in everything so far. I'm going to check YouTube for any other type of content that might be out right now that might be of interest. Some of the Lions post-game reaction stuff is out by other YouTubers. I said I was not going to make a video about it because I'm busy doing this live stream. Checking the Detroit Lions YouTube thing. Post-game show, which does include Dan Campbell's post-game press conference. Any shorts to look at? Jameson Williams reacts to his rushing touchdown. There's a good short. David Montgomery with the shuffle. That was JMO reacting to his touchdown play. Very nice. All right. More content will come out soon, I'm sure. Flag on the play. False start offense number 1, 5-yard penalty. That's Devonta Smith, I believe. No, Jalen Hurts is number 1. Hurts processing. He's going up the middle, running up the middle. Goes out of bounds, gets to 3 or 4 yards there. And they're booing the Eagles. The fans are booing the Eagles. The Eagles fan base can be very brutal. I think they bullied the Eagles 2 or 3 years ago into running the ball when they wanted to pass the ball. $14-yard line. Right again. Hey guys. Third time. I'm running out. I'm running out of things to say. I'm gonna try to drink. What would I do? I'm gonna try to get hurt. I'm running out of things. Okay. What just happened on this play? Something with Brown? 49ers on offense. Pitch. A tackle for loss. Second and 15 for the 49ers. Can they get their offense going? They've barely done anything in this game so far. They're at the 9-yard line. Purdy gets it. Gets almost to the first down. The Cowboys almost beat the Eagles while the Cowboys got crushed by the 49ers. That should be another clue to why I think San Francisco should have a chance to win this game. Even though so far the Eagles have a slight advantage. The 49ers first down. George Kittle catches a pass near the end zone. You did it, San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk almost gets another first down. Maybe I can attract a raid with this today, with this game. I don't know. Oh, McCaffrey gets nowhere. Tackle for loss on that one. Third and 1. Purdy throwing it. Caught. First down and more. Deebo Samuel. Down to the 45. Ran like 17, 18, 19 miles an hour on that one. The NFL graphic says so. Pitch it to McCaffrey, 15 miles an hour. And he gets all the way to the first down. Things are starting to get going for the 49ers offense here. Dumps it off. No one around. George Kittle, first down and much more. Down to the 10. It was a big gain. San Francisco's making noise. Love it. Play is whistle dead. 49ers calling a timeout. All right. Next commercial break, I'm going to do something here. First and goal, though, for the 49ers at the 10. Purdy, Dwelly in motion, Purdy and shotgun. Processing. Running. He's breaking through. He's going for the out of bounds. Gets 5 yards on that play. A mobile quarterback probably would have got a touchdown on that one. But good decision by Brock Purdy with that one. Third and goal. Pass. Incomplete in the end zone. No flags. Field goal or extra point? Oh, offside defense. Replay third down, half the distance to the goal. Josh Sweat. He was lined up in the neutral zone, I guess. Third and goal at the 2-yard line. Faked it. Purdy gets it. Brandon Ayuk gets the touchdown for the 49ers. Game is tied. I couldn't tell if it bounced or if he caught it, but I guess he caught it. Oh, it looked like there was a bounce. It might get called back. Yeah. There was that slight bounce. I guess the whole process thing all over again. The process, which us Lions fans all know about from that infamous end of that game with Calvin Johnson and the Chicago Bears all those years ago, but it looked like it bounced slightly, and there didn't look like he had control of it then. I'm going to say it gets called back, but it could go either way. Oh, commercial break. I'm going to play this short from That's Good Sports. Browns horrible Austin Texans. Oh, sorry, Perna. – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– – – – – – – – – – – – –– – – – – – – – – – –– – – – – – – – –– – – – – – –– – –– – –– – – – –– – –– – –– – –– – –– – –– –– ––– –– –– ––– ––– ––––––––––– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– –– – –– –– –– –– –– –– –– – –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– – –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– ––– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –––––––––––––––– –––––– ––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– –– – – – –– –– –– –––––– ––– –––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – ––––– –– –––– ––– ––– ––– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––––– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– ––––––––––––––––– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– –––– –– –––––––––––––––––––––– –– – Great goal, it's just on the IR, right? You're the one that said never have hope. There's been stronger reactions, but you get the idea. No new fresh content, though, about anything NFL as far as I can tell. Is this a touchdown? Oh, I guess they ruled it a touchdown, so I guess he had possession before it bounced. Just waiting for the PAT from Jake Moody. Still a chess match, still a pitcher's duel. That's why we all tune in for this clash of two titans. My blueberries are almost gone. First world problems, I know. It might look good short term for the Lions to have the number 2 seed with Philadelphia winning, but long term, if you want the number 1 seed, it's best if San Francisco wins. Hence why I posted that question up there. And like Dan Campbell and his aggressive nature with the Lions and the offense, I have aggressive intentions with the Lions pursuing the number 1 seed. In my preseason prediction video, I think I predicted them to get the number 2 seed while Philadelphia was the 1st seed. And then the division round, they would lose to San Francisco. I did that way back in the summer. Hurts dancing around, gets sacked. Yeah, that's why having a great defense is important. So I know the old adage, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. In my opinion, the side which has the player that controls the outcome of the play, which if that side is superior, then that is what you go with. Like in baseball, it's the pitcher who's on the defensive side. In the NFL, it's the quarterback who's on the offensive side of the ball. But if one side is good, super good, and the other side is just good enough to complement the other side, then you got something. So, like the Chiefs with their super good offense over the years and just good enough defense. Which is why you have older quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning who will go to different teams who have really good defenses, so that way they can just kind of ride that defense to the Super Bowl, so to speak. Nick Bosa, 8 sacks on the year. Second most pressures to Parsons. Devonta Smith keeps going. Gets the first down. He broke a bunch of tackles and then kept going. I can see why you won the Heisman a few years ago. Gainwell gets a couple yards there. Yeah, Devonta Smith is like the Derek Jeter of that team, in my opinion. Not the biggest or most talented, but like he's got the heart to get done what needs to get done. I say the same thing about Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions too. So you can see why Smith won the Heisman Trophy in his last year in college before he got drafted. Rain, go away. Coming back another day. Hurts goes deep. Deflected. Incomplete. Woo. Imagine if he caught that ball. If it weren't for that defender there, he would have caught it. Yep. Hurts processing. Pressure to his left. Gets rid of the ball. Goes out of bounds. One of the bigger, fatter coaches caught the ball. 4th and 8, punt time. Clash of two giants here. Both teams with really good offensive and defensive lines. Well, it's 49ers not the best offensive line, but, and both with good skilled teams. I think Philadelphia's weakness is what? Their secondary? An older, aging Darius Slay, who's a great Lions player, but rightfully did not like the coaching staff he had at the time he left and got himself traded to Philadelphia. Be right back. Restroom break. All right. Still on commercial break. I say let's check out some of these box score stats. Brock Purdy, 6 for 11, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts, 13 for 21, 143 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. San Francisco rushing, Christian McCaffrey, 3 carries, 11 yards. Jalen Hurst, 2 carries, 11 yards. DeAndre Swift, 4 carries, 8 yards. San Francisco receiving, George Kittle, 2 receptions, 35 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 3 receptions, 23 yards, 1 touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 2 receptions, 22 yards. Philadelphia receiving, A.J. Brown, 4 receptions, 63 yards. Devonta Smith, 4 receptions, 48 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 3 receptions, 21 yards. Kinlaw for 49ers has 1 sack, as does Eric Armstead. Hassan Reddick has a sack, and Christian Ellis has a tackle for loss. Purdy gets it to Samuel. He runs, gets close to the first down, goes out of bounds. Just going to start snacking on some sugar-free cookies. Second and 1. At the 19-yard line, and they run up the middle, gets the first down and more. Down to the 26. Christian McCaffrey. Possible MVP candidate, Christian McCaffrey. I think Tyreek Hill has something to say about that. Ooh, Purdy pass caught, first down more. Down to the 50 to George Kittle. All the way down to the 50. First and 10 at the 49. On top of the Eagles logo. McCaffrey runs for another 9 yards. $2:11 to go in the first half. Purdy under center. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Yeah, fake, timeout, all that good stuff. Down to the 2-minute warning. No timeout, just down to the 2-minute warning. I think I got to say Stroud. Easily Stroud. Stroud was somebody I thought the Lions might draft with their high pick if he fell to them, depending on what happened with the Rams pick. But, like he's a play-action quarterback like Goff, so he would have slipped in like a glove in that system perfectly, and then he'd be good at downfield accuracy, and he is a mobile quarterback when he needs to be, which I think is like the smartest thing to do with that there. So, plus I like CJ Stroud because he's a reminder of when my Oregon Ducks beat Ohio State, and CJ Stroud was a part of that game. So, but I'm glad to see that he's having so much success. But yeah, definitely Stroud. Trying to think of any other players. Devon Witherspoon was somebody I really liked, and I was so infuriated that he went to the Seahawks right in front of the Lions. The other cornerback from Oregon was another one that I really liked. to Gonzalez, who went to the Patriots right in front of the Lions pick at 18 there. So you said nobody, non-Lions players. Darnell Washington was another one that I liked from the draft, but he fell, and it doesn't seem like he's barely doing much. So yeah, he'll probably get Offensive Rookie of the Year if I had to guess, unless someone else has a crazy last push, like Sam Laporta goes crazy and does a bunch of stuff, and then Stroud just kind of freezes. Brian Branch seemed like a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year for a while. Then he got injured, and other people, a scuffle's going on. What's going on? Oh, that's pregame. But I think Witherspoon kind of took over that race as well. And Jalen Carter, I think, is now probably the top candidate because Jalen Carter's like doing a lot of things really good. I think it was a mistake by the NFL to let the Eagles get Jalen Carter. But we didn't know what was going on with him considering his off-the-field issues. 2nd and 1. Looks like a first down was made. Purdy going deepish. Caught to Ayuk. First down and more. First and 10. Purdy processing. Passes across the middle, incomplete. Flag on the play. Pass was complete. Offsides defense 94 to 5 yard. Josh Sweat. I need to check later on and see about the injury status of Frank Ragnow and Ali McNeil. Second and 5. Checks down to Samuel. 15 miles an hour. First down more. Down within the 5. Clocked up to 15 miles an hour there. I'm watching this on the NFL like upgraded thing. Timeout is called. I forgot to update this. Silly me. All right. Seeing nothing about injury updates there, I'm probably going to have to watch a Dan Campbell press conference to find more information on that. First and goal for the 49ers. McCaffrey going up the middle there, gets a couple of yards there at the 2-yard line. Dolphins and Ryans raising some eyebrows. McCaffrey, touchdown. It took the San Francisco a couple of drives, but now they're starting to get rolling. Twelve rushing touchdowns, single season team record. As he wears his stocking cap for 49er stuff. Walk-on player with an all-pro body, they say. Eagles, no timeouts. 38 seconds left to half. 49ers, 2 timeouts left. Five no when trailing at halftime this season, best in the NFL. Whoa, Hurts pass tipped up in the air, incomplete. Never mind. What is it? 2nd and 10 at the 25. The handoff to Gainwell. Gains like 3 yards or so. Halftime, and you hear boos. It's possible I might get a raid with this, although my Lions aren't playing. But just in case. Just in case, I'm just going to hold this up. While I look at other stuff. Let's start by checking some of the other scores of some of the current games going on right now. Tampa Bay's leading Carolina 7-3. That's in the third quarter just started for that game. 10-10 tie with Cleveland and Los Angeles Rams. Almost at the 2-minute warning for that game. Yeah. And that's pretty much it to find there. The ironic thing about the Eagles struggling in the second quarter is last season, the second quarter was when the Eagles were at their best and when they scored the most points and played their best ball. I remember that specifically because that's what happened when they played the Lions in that first game of that last season. So I see 3 or 2 people in here. I think we know who might have been in there, just checking it out. He knows who I am. He probably like, nah, we've done you before. And it's not a Lions game, so I won't raid you this time anyway. But if you know, you know. But I want to check out where is it? Oh, here we go. The post-game show. Getting through this ad. I want to check out Dan Campbell's post-game press conference show. All right, here's some halftime highlights. They're showing on the screen. Jerome Ford, 24-yard touchdown reception. That's a running back. That's Joe Flacco. I forgot he was starting in that game. Stafford gets it off to Puka Nacua, 70-yard touchdown run. Puka Nacua had an impressive game today. Puka had left with a rim injury. That's unfortunate. Chris Tabor, interim head coach. Nope, no raid. No raid yet. All right. All right, here we go. I'm pretty huge. Okay, it just sounds like pretty much standard stuff for now. I'll probably watch the rest of it later. But Dan Campbell can have some sound bites when he wants to. So they're starting to promote the skills competition, which took the place of the Pro Bowl stuff. So the Pro Bowl games, that's what they're calling them. Last year, I watched a lot of it, and I actually thought a lot of it was entertaining. So I think because I get to see the linemen doing stuff, and I got to see other people doing other things. Plus, it helps when you have several Detroit Lions involved in it. So showing Lions highlights, the Jameson Williams touchdown. Let's see what Tyreek Hill does. Oh, yeah, I saw this highlight earlier. That was a touchdown pass. Broncos and Texans. What happened in this game? Nico Collins. I saw that in the short. Key interception in the end zone. Colts and Titans. The Colts came back and won this game. What's going on there? Gardner Minshew to Alex Pierce. Impressive. Colts are 7-5. They were a bad team that I think beat a bunch of other bad teams, and they're doing better than what most people would think. The Colts feel like they're one of the teams I know about the least, especially since Anthony Richardson is out for the season. Because if you draft somebody like Anthony Richardson, you let him sit for a year and you let him learn and don't let him get a significant injury. And the Colts did the opposite of all of that. So I don't know what the heck they were thinking with that. Oh, I just bit the inside of my cheek. I'll be right back. Has the third quarter begun yet? Not yet. Here's something else I've been snacking on. Sugar-free Hershey's bar with a little bit of caramel filled in it. But we're getting ready to go. First and 10 for the 49ers. 25-yard line. Purdy under shotgun. Heads off to McCaffrey. Gets about 5 yards. Right on the 30 number. I'm Aaron Andrews. I'm the best at what I do. I'm Aaron Andrews. I'm Aaron Andrews. Everybody wants to be me. As far as female sports reporters goes, almost an interception, but incomplete. Okay, Beast. Do whatever you got to do. Yeah, Godzilla and Kong. Heck yeah. Jennings catches it for first down and more, right above the Eagles logo on the field. Kittle almost gets a first down and a catch there. Third and 2 at the 45, excuse me. Purdy passes, caught, wide open, gets inside the 20. Christian McCaffrey. Nice running back receiving play. End around to Samuel. Gets to the 10, to the touchdown, 49ers. They're starting to break away with this game. No flags on the play. They're really out scheming the Eagles here, as far as I can tell, with all their offensive weapons. The Eagles haven't even scored a touchdown against the 49ers defense yet. I didn't catch who they were. Sounds like a Neil. Big Neil. I want to try to get as much of that as I can. I wonder who's getting the Lion. Who got the Lions game ball? People probably already know, but I haven't caught it yet. I'm gonna guess Jalen Reeves-Maybin is one. Brian Branch probably another one with the interception. Maybe Jameson Williams or Josh Paschal. Flag on this play on the kick return. Face mask. Kicking team 45. Yep. Swift gets a few yards up the middle there. Hurts scrambling to his left. Throws it out of bounds. Yeah, I heard it was multiple injuries, so yeah, that hit really, really did a lot to him there. So again, you don't wish it on your worst enemy, but yeah. Hurts gets rid of the ball, passes caught, first down and more. I know he's an old school style player, so he'll get some good sacks, but he might get in a little trouble doing it. So that's what I was saying earlier in the game about the player. Because he can't rough the passer too much, I guess, apparently. And like tackling at the hip or whatever, like there's just too many rules that makes it complicated, you know? Because those old school players, when they get back in, they just fall back in the old habits, and it's hard to like remember what you learn if you've been doing the same thing for years and years. So, have you heard anything about Frank Ragnow or Alim McNeill? Because I was watching part of Campbell's press conference. I guess he keeps saying we'll know more tomorrow. Pass interference offense. So right now I'm interested in the injuries for Ragnow and for McNeill. I can figure it out later, or we'll figure it out later. It might just be a learn as we go throughout the week type of thing. Got the info. Yeah. So I remember initially when I heard about it, it was a concussion and it was like a shoulder and back, like you were saying. So I figured it was just conflicting reports. And the Saints were fighting for first place in the NFC South, and they were in second place. So today's results could not have been good for them. Meanwhile, what do the Falcons do? Or were they one of the teams on the bye? I think they were on a bye, but no, Atlanta beat the Jets, so they extended their lead. Whoa. Penalty on slamming down Smith and stuff. We got a scuffle going. Ref is trying to break it all up. Sirianni's yelling at the refs. He's like, I look like a douchebag, and this is going to turn into a frat party real quick. See ya! The coaches are yelling at the San Francisco players, too. They'll probably just offset penalties, which is what usually happens. Oh, the 49ers player tried to punch a coach. It looked like a love tap. It's like, ugh, right to the coach. What was that? That's like the softest ejection thing I've ever seen. Watch the replay again. Whoa! Okay, that was a lot quicker. Yeah, that got Greenlaw. He's disqualified. Yep. Yep. It looked like he took a swing at the coach or the security person, whoever that guy is. I honestly don't know who that guy is, but it's just like when Quay Walker got ejected last season when he shoved the trainer. You don't touch or shove or punch especially non-player personnel for any reason. Like that trainer in that game was just trying to get through to tend to the injured player, and Quay Walker shoved him out of pure instinct. And then he got ejected. And that one, that just things got heated. And then that player there gave in to that big guy chirping at him, and he took a swing at him, took a jab at him, and he got ejected. You just got to think. They are still sorting all this out. Oh, they're making him leave, and he's the head of security. They're making him leave. They are still trying to sort all this out. Jeez. He's getting some hugs as he's being let out. Oh, Philadelphia fans, stay classy. And my tablet has frozen. There we go. No, I am not. And I don't care. Anyway, 1st and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line. Hurts running. He tackled in the backfield. Again, I don't care, Beast. I'm sorry. That sounds like very dangerous territory for me to comment on. All right, 2nd and 11. Fred Warner lost a shoe and a timeout was called. I want to check Twitter. I want to see who's trending because of this. Big Dom is trending. Greenlaw is trending. Salah is also trending. That's, I think, unrelated. Yeah, Big Don. Big Dom. Dre Greenlaw is trending. Lane Johnson's trending. Oh, God. Taylor Swift is trending. Hurts goes for A.J. Brown. Incomplete. Off of the cornerback's back. Okay. All right. 3rd and 11. That's where I'm at right now. Hurts gets the pass off. Pass is caught. Gets half a first down. 1st and goal at like the 1 or 2 yard line. Tush push territory indeed, or brotherly shove. I heard Roger Goodell has a plan in motion to ban it or something. Here it is. Do. Close, but not enough. This would be Philadelphia's first touchdown of the game. Looks like they got in. Touchdown Eagles. And there's more fighting going on. Oh, boy. A.J. Brown fired up. In case anybody's wondering, after this game, I'm going to go to Planet Fitness and I'm going to watch Sunday Night Football there as I jog on the treadmill. Dang. Things are getting intense. Oh, man, oh, man. I'm going to watch more of this Campbell post-game press conference. Good, good. There's something there. Can't disagree with that. Oh man, we got a game. Oh, Deebo Samuel is chipped up at the 23. San Francisco still winning 21-13. Surgical is how they describe Brock Purdy since the first quarter. Of course, it helps to be a good quarterback when you have lots of weapons and lots of pass protection around you. Just saying. First and 10 at the 23. Purdy processing, scrambling up, and he gets sacked. Number 91, who's the captain. Fletcher Cox. Feel like Broshmo always used to say that guy's name and always made a joke out of it. I haven't watched much of Broshmo's mock drafts, mock the mocks in a while. I got to start getting into that. I probably will once the season's over and we get closer to mock draft season. Second and 12. McCaffrey trying to run through up the middle. Gets about 6 yards there. I used to be into the mock draft stuff when the Lions were in the rebuilding phase, but now in the competitive phase, you don't really, and the Matthew Stafford trade is done, like you don't really pay much attention to it anymore. I mean, you might still, especially when the mock draft is, when the NFL draft is going to come to Detroit and that sort of thing. So. Purdy passes. Complete. First down. Brandon Ayuk. First and 10 at the 36-yard line. McCaffrey's going 17 miles an hour. First down and more. Crossing the 15-yard threshold. First and 10, 48-yard line. Deebo Samuel breaks his tackle. First down and more. Breaking away. And he's all the way in for the touchdown. As a quick pass across the middle. And then Samuel broke a tackle and just took off and darted through everybody. Wowzers. Like I said, the Eagles, the Eagles, I think, are due for a loss. because they hadn't beat a good team yet this year, and they faced one of the better ones. And now we're seeing teams that have really good defenses, I think, are what stopped the Eagles. Because they lost to the Jets, and they threw 3 interceptions to them. And they lost earlier in the year from that. And San Francisco is breaking away with this game. Oh, more tempers flaring. The Eagles don't like that they're losing on their home turf. This game is lasting quite a bit. Like, I started this game at 3:30 Central Time where I'm at, and we're already at 5:30, 5:33. I don't know. It's too. I hate playing the what if game because you just never really know. I think it would have been a lot closer, but maybe the Eagles still win. And I don't know. Maybe not because Purdy was still technically a rookie, but I don't know. The cheeseburger is in my raid bait video that I did a long time ago against the Chiefs, which now has like 12K views. So feel free to go check that out on my YouTube channel. You should be able to find it. I'm sure you'll be able to find it on my post. So, but today, up 2 fouls. False start offense. Personal foul, defense. Offensive foul is refused. 15 yards on the kickoff. Okay. Yep, I'm quite aware. I'm sure the majority of my viewerships is because I tricked Tom Grassi into rating me by eating a cheeseburger to catch his attention. So, running a theme on my show. Today, I'm trying to make an effort to eat healthy, though. I bought a bunch of sugar-free candy, which I've kind of been snacking on throughout the day, as well as some fruits and vegetables, though. So I ate trail mix during the previous live stream I did, though. So as well as tea and hot cocoa. It's up and good. Yeah. But yeah. Good times, good times. I'm actually going to try some sort of similar gimmick to try to get Brandon Perna from That's Good Sports to raid me the day that the Lions and the Broncos play. I've already ordered his coffee from his online store, the Benchwarmer Brew, and I'm going to try to do some sort of gimmick with that. Raid bait gimmick is what I call it. So I tried a series of other raid bait gimmicks toward the start of the season, but I was unsuccessful with a lot of them, and I ran out of ideas. Like I tried to do impersonations of Jonathan Gannon, the Cardinals head coach, because of his beginning of the season speech. Like everybody made fun of that, and I tried to talk in random sentences like the way that he would talk. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions for how I can attract a raid from Brandon Perna. One Brandon Perna from That's Good Sports. I'll figure something out, though. I think the Benchwarmer Brew thing is probably a good start. Probably not as funny as eating a cheeseburger. But wear a diaper. Very funny. Oh, yeah, because of the Dan Campbell thing. Maybe I should do the I'm on rah, 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 and then have Lady Gaga instrumental music playing in the background. There we go. Yes, I think we're onto something there. I won't do wear a diaper, but I'll do the rah 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 St. Brown thing. Yeah. So Nick, I what kind of a fan are you? Are you a Lions fan or just a Tom Grassi fan? Or I'd love to know a little bit about you. I know that you know about me because I ate a cheeseburger. So Lions, good, good, good. Kind of a sloppy win today, but yeah, a win is a win. I think the defense improved in some areas, but still a lot to clean up. Offense got the job done. Hmm. You're from Michigan. Cool. I actually grew up in Michigan. I recently moved out a few months ago. So, but yeah, I know quite a bit about it. All right. Aaron Andrews has her own set of cleats. Yeah. Someone tell me, seriously, what is up with Aaron Andrews? She's like the premier sideline reporter, and it's just like, is she just like the Vanna White? If NFL was Wheel of Fortune, is she like the Vanna White of sideline reporters or something? Or maybe she's just the most professional, has the most experience. Like Fox trusts her, and like she has connected with the right people. Like, what is her deal? I guess I should do more about that, and then do something about her. I remember she was in that Super Bowl commercial last year where she was one of the people who tried to tackle that lady football player or whatever. Aiden Hutchinson was in that commercial too as like a hotel doorman, posing as a hotel doorman. It's like, housekeeping. No, that's not how you say it. It's like this, housekeeping or something like that. Hurts, processing, dumps off, bounces in front of Swift, incomplete. Bosa got pressure on that one against Lane Johnson. Oh, wow. It was like boom, spin moves. It's like one of those lightsaber duels from Revenge of the Sith where everything's like so intense and then you're back twirling and everything. I only know that because I just watched Revenge of the Sith last night. I was bored yesterday afternoon and I threw it on. It's like, you know what? I'm starting to see Star Wars content on my YouTube channel. It's making me want to watch Star Wars just to get it out of my system. And that's what I did. Hurts scrambling up the middle, gets close to the first down. That was 3rd and 8. Just short. Be right back. Back at it. Control your emotions is what I'm hearing about. First and 10, 49ers at the 25-yard line. McCaffrey. Okay, it's across the 30, 6 yards-ish. Another first down, close to the 40. McCaffrey takes it. First down and more, breaking through the tackles. Across the 50. Just past where the Eagles logo on the field is. There's an Eagles fan slamming his what he's wearing on his head onto the bleacher behind him. Oh man, those Eagles fans can be some of the most what's the best word to think about? Passionate about a team. I think. I mean, after all, Philadelphia is the city where the Declaration of Independence was made, and that's the birthplace of where our country was broke free from Great Britain and became our own thing, and it's slowly grown and developed into what we are today. Early week 13 takeaways from the Athletic. Do the Lions have a fatal flaw? It's literally the first sentence that pops up on my Athletic notifications here just now. But it worked because it got me to click on it, and I want to see what the hell they are talking about. NFL Week 13 takeaways. Is defense Lions' fatal flaw? Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back, right? There are no concerns about the Lions' offense. It is one of the best teams in the NFL, but does the way the Detroit's defense played today and in recent games worry you in terms of being able to beat teams like Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys come the postseason? Yes and then a bunch of other words. We knew this about the Lions last year. The only difference is Detroit's defense was ranked last in a lot of categories last season, whereas this year, a lot of those defensive stuff has improved. So, and because of that, the Lions have gone from a 500-ish team. Oh, Hurts is going to the locker room to like a 9-3 team now. We improved the defense just enough to make the Lions a good overall team. For now. Purdy throws it out of bounds. What's going on with Jalen Hurts? What'd I miss? Second and 10. McCaffrey taken down at the line of scrimmage. Ha-ho! Hurts with the, or Beast with the joke. Hurt is hurt. Yeah, I guess he is. It's in his name after all. There was like a Hulu commercial that Jalen Hurts was in or something like that where like they stretched out like his folded jersey to show that there was more to his name that was involved in the commercial. That Hurts is the shortened version of that name, which was an advertisement for something. 3rd and 9. Ball at the 39-yard line. Purdy. Processing. Passes. Caught. First down. Jennings. Yes, that was it. Hulu has live sports. That is Jalen. Who we're talking about is Jalen. Hulu has live sports. That's the Eagles quarterback right there. That's his true name. Fourth and 1. They're going for it on 4th and 1. What do they have to lose? And they get it. McCaffrey gets it. 1,000 rushing yards. Awesome for McCaffrey. Good for him. Now he's not playing with the Panthers. It's just like, whoa. This dude is super, super good. The 49ers have done a good job of building a team over the years, although the Trey Lance pick was definitely a bust. Mitchell gets a first down there, although it wasn't Trey Lance's fault because he was about to start, and in the second game of the season, he got injured and out of the season. And then the other quarterback they drafted, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, wound up doing super well. And it's like, which quarterback do you go with? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So just a lot of unluckiness there. Not so much draft bust type of stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, Derrick Henry. I've loved Derrick Henry as running back ever since he and his team eliminated the Patriots from the playoffs the last year that Tom Brady was with them. So I've always kind of thought of it as Derrick Henry there. And I never really watched Chubb until that game earlier in the season against the Steelers, and then he got injured and out for the season. But I heard about him on fantasy, and I prioritized trying to get him because not only is he a great running back, but he has one of the best offensive lines to go behind. So Aaron Jones is up there too when he's healthy. Throws caught out of bounds, couple yards. I thought DeAndre Swift would emerge as one of the best running backs with the Lions, but he just was never healthy. And it started to look that way in the first few games of last season. And then he got injured again. And we all just were like, yeah, he can't stay healthy. We got to do something to replace him. So. But yeah, Derrick Henry is like good enough to carry an entire team, which I guess is why I like him in that way. Although you shouldn't let your team revolve around one player, because if that player goes out, then you're screwed. Saquon Barkley is the same way too. Same story with that guy. You know what running back has impressed me quite a bit this year, though? Breece Hall from the Jets. I think anytime the Jets do something on offense, it's because of Breece Hall. I saw him like run like 86 yards or something, like for a play for a touchdown or something. And I was like, wow, that dude can fly. It's a shame that the Jets don't have a quarterback that can really kind of do stuff, because that's the missing piece. And we all know the story about the Jets. Speaking of which, I'm curious as to which quarterback was starting for them today, because let's check that out. Yeah. Let's see what happened with New York Jets and their quarterback situation. Tim Boyle was 14 for 25, 148 yards, no touchdowns, one interception. And then Trevor Siemian got in. He was 5 for 13 for 66 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The Jets did have 2 field goals and a safety, though. So, oh yeah, Bijan Robinson might be somebody who might emerge as a really good running back, but I guess Arthur Smith doesn't like to play him. There's another, I guess, YouTuber slash TikToker out there named Angie NR. I started watching her content recently. She's really funny in the way that she does similar stuff to Tom Grassi, but like it's really quick and fast paced and really funny in their own ways. Mixes jokes and references from shows like The Office and stuff like that. And it usually ends on a really sick burn on one of the teams. So, but I can tell she really hates Arthur Smith. She always does the mustache run on them and always giving him crap for not using Bijan Robinson and all that. So she did something similar with Gibbs during the Lions game against the Chiefs. It's like, Gibbs is your best player, so why are you not playing your best player? Something like that. But I think what gets overlooked is that Gibbs is definitely a rookie. You got to give them time to kind of marinate and develop a little bit. And besides, you have a really good offensive line. You have a good decision-making, accurate quarterback. You have wide receiver weapons and that sort of thing, But at the same time, you got to say what you got to say to get the clicks and the views and all that. So Angie, I think her name is Angie, or Annie Amar, Angie NR, something like that. Look her up on YouTube. Meanwhile, there's another touchdown by Jennings. He catches a pass and yeah. This game has gotten away from the Eagles. I think when I do my power rankings, the 49ers might just jump up to the number 1 spot. $35-13. Like I said at the beginning of this, as a Lions fan, I know some people might be rooting for the Eagles to win so that the Lions can jump up to the number 2 seed. But if your goal as a Lions fan is to get the number 1 seed, then I think it's in your best interest that San Francisco wins this game to kind of bring the Eagles down a little bit, even if it means San Francisco jumps up to the number 2 seed for now. Because I'm like Dan Campbell in that way, where you're aggressive. You want to get the thing where you'll get the most reward, going for 4th down all the time, going for the 2-point conversions all the time. And I'm like, okay, whatever is the best path for the Lions to get the number 1 seed, that's what I'm all for. Because imagine getting a home playoff game in the division round. That would be super sweet. And having a first round bye. Because I think Ford Field would be a very tough place for a road team to play, especially in the playoffs. Imagine how loud it would get there. I was there earlier in the year, and it was loud. Inside at Ford Field in a dome. There may not be a handful of places that are tougher to play than Ford Field. The dome place where the Saints, they were just at with the Saints, that's probably one of the other places that's tough to play at. They just said Detroit has the easiest schedule of all those other tougher teams, except they play Dallas. So Marcus Mariota's in the game. What's going on with Hurts? Aaron Andrews, where are you? Give us updates. I'm depending on you now. I'm sorry, Aaron Andrews. I was being like, what the heck are you earlier? I like Marcus Mariota, though. You know why? He's an Oregon alumnus. So he played in the national championship game, which they lost to Ohio State. But I always remember him and be thankful for his role in helping them get that far all those years ago. He was drafted by the Tennessee Titans and then kind of became a journeyman backup quarterback, signing all different places. I think he played for Atlanta last year. And then before that, a lot of time with the Raiders as their backup. Kind of a dual threat type of. Oh, concussion protocol. The Tua thing has spread to Hurts. I don't know, too soon to tell. The Eagles can afford to miss a game without Hurts, considering their record, so maybe. I'll read that in a second. 3rd and 6. Mariota scrambling to his right. He's going for it. Dives for the first down. Falls just short, I think. 4th down. I think they got to the 50. Oh, Dallas was next week? Well, they didn't play him against Dallas during one of their games last week. Yeah, I remember that thing. 4th and 1. Tush push time. But with Mariota. They got it. San Francisco saying no. Yeah, last year, like both Cowboys and Eagles played against each other. One of them like had their backup quarterback in, and then the other had the backup quarterback in, and then like both of them they split the season because of that, I guess. Hurts is back in. All right. They got it. And Hurts is back in. All right. I guess we were worried about nothing with Hurts, I guess. Hurts is not hurt. Hopefully this is not like a Miami situation from last year where they put Tua back in the game, even though he was clearly concussed, and they're not trying to sweep it under the rug, so to speak. Cincinnati was people think about maybe getting him in trouble because Joe Burrow, I guess, was nurturing his seemingly hurt wrist before the game, and then he tried to throw in that game against the Ravens and was out, and now is out for the season. Haven't heard any updates on that investigation yet. Devontae Smith gets a first down catch. A.J. Brown open. Hmm. 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Hurts under center. 2 running backs behind him. Processing. Steps to his left. Dumps it off. Inside the 15, goes out of bounds. Second and 3. I wonder if San Francisco has their Smith 1st and goal. I wonder if San Francisco has their backups in at this point, and like everything we're seeing now is just garbage time. It really kind of feels like it at this point. So if the Eagles score here, it'll probably just be like a garbage time touchdown. Oh, we're in the 4th quarter. I didn't even realize. I was so caught up in that drama earlier. There's processing. Drop to the pass. Penalty. False start. Offense number 65, Lane Johnson. Raises his hand up. He's like, yep, I know. Hurts processing. 2nd and goal. Lobs it up in the end zone. Incomplete. And there's another flag. I wanted to see more of that Campbell press conference. Excuse me. check Twitter again, see what's going on there, or X or whatever. Greenlaw is still the number one trending on my thing. Debo's trending. Green Bay is trending. Purdy, Lions, Stafford, Dre Greenlaw. Hurts lobs it up. Knocked away. Puka Nacua is trending. Oh, that's why Taylor Swift is trending. She's going to the Green Bay Packers game. She's in a red pea coat. Oh, crap. We're going to hear all about that tonight on the primetime stuff, aren't we? Again, I have no issue with Taylor Swift specifically, but Eagles get a garbage time touchdown. Devontae Smith. I have no problem with Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce or the relationship, whatever, but just like the NFL trying to overexpose it just in general. Although I don't think there's been much of that lately, but I guess that could change at any point. She's wearing, I guess, a black turtleneck sweater with a red pea coat. There with Brittany Mahomes and several other people, some security around her. Yeah. 2-point conversion attempt. Knocked away, incomplete. So 19. I wonder if Mama Kelce will. Where is she at? If she's at this game, which would it be in Philadelphia, how long would it take her to travel from there to Green Bay to make that game in time? Oh, man. I should probably start trying to figure out my power rankings, I suppose. I never factor in the previous week before because I want to have a fresh and objective perspective on things. So I tend to start figuring that out by the time the Sunday Night Football game starts. So because most of the games are done by that point. Look at the standings, click on the league tab, and see who has. At this moment, the Detroit Lions are tied for the second best record in the league because Philadelphia is 10-1. Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions, Baltimore Ravens, and Dallas Cowboys are all 9-3. And then you have the Chiefs at 8-3, 49ers at 8-3. That's probably going to change here soon. And then Jacksonville's 8-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 of my 10 teams there. See, winning percentage plays a high factor in it because that old saying from that coach from whatever, you are as good as your record says you are. And I genuinely believe that to an extent. No, also factor in point differentials, winning streaks, strength of victory against good teams and what type of bad teams they did. Onside kick, Unsuccessful for the Eagles. Eagles take over at the 48. One o'clock, Lions versus Bears. Soldier Field's another difficult place to play, too, considering all the wind and sometimes tsunami-like weather. San Francisco lost to the Bears on week 1 last year because they had to play in a tsunami. That was the only full game that Trey Lance played as the quarterback for the 49ers. A stupid loss coming, yeah, otherwise known as a trap game. In my preview video over the summer, I predicted that game would come against the Broncos, but it actually, in the way I see it, it came against the Packers during Thanksgiving. So, oh, you mean in terms of the Eagles? No, this isn't really like a stupid loss. Theirs came against the Jets. So, I think I made this point before, where like a lot of the good teams, they'll like have that trap game loss every now and again. So. The Cardinals won again today. They beat the Steelers. The Steelers are a very hard to predict team, whether or not they'll win and lose, as TG knows all too well. In fact, I think he picked wrong again, whether or not the Steelers would win and lose. So he's to blame for that. I kind of want to go back and see that in his week, his predictions for this week, that video, what he said about because he said something very epic for the Steelers and the Cardinals. I think he pretty much like admitted, yeah, I'm a Packers curse if I get this wrong, and I think he picked them to win, and then the Cardinals won. So. That's probably one of the talking points on GPS tomorrow. That's for true. Deebo Samuel, 17 miles an hour. He's going. He's breaking free. He's going to get another touchdown. They're putting up a 40-burger. Man, San Francisco establishing their dominance. Yeah, everything at this point is just stat padding and garbage time. I don't see the Eagles coming back to win this game. Sorry, Natty Gold. Not that I think that other YouTuber is watching my content, but I know Natalie Gold is an Eagles fan. Fun fact. So Tom Grassi and those guys are people I like to watch the most on YouTube. But before that, there was another YouTuber who reacts to like famous, popular movies and that sort of thing. Her name is Natalie Gold, and she's one of the ones I watch all the time for her reactions and stuff. And I think she does a really good job. And I think she, just like how I'm famous for the cheeseburger raid thing, I think her most famous thing is how she reacted to the scene in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin killed the younglings. Because she kept like saying before that, it's like, they better stay away from those Jedi kids or whatever. And then she realized, oh no, Order 6 is happening. What's going to happen to the kids? Get the kids. And then it turns out Anakin Skywalker himself was the one that was going to kill them. It was like, oh no. And then the reaction was just pure gold, and no pun intended. And then that's like really like where she blew up. That, among other few things. Yeah. The Niners, just like the Lions want to be, they're like the villains. They walked into Philadelphia, a team that has nearly unbeatable record, and just kicked their ass. They are what the Lions are growing to be too. And it's symbolic too, because the first game for the Lions under the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and Jared Goff era was against the San Francisco 49ers. So it's kind of like a tale of two cities. Maybe the wrong metaphor, but you kind of get what I'm saying. And what if it all comes to full circle, and then the Lions and 49ers meet into the postseason, and then like they play each other, and it's like they're both like, it's an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, because the Lions and 49ers played each other. Although I think it would come down to like the defense, because the Lions defense still needs to improve, even though the defense is better than what it was last year in a lot of areas, in a number of areas, I should say. But the San Francisco is just a better team all around, arguably the best team. They were my pick to, I think, either go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl this season. So, because they're just so highly skilled in several other areas, like the Eagles are too. But and it was a slow start, and then San Francisco in the second quarter just dialed up their offense a few notches. They just started giving the ball to Christian McCaffrey. He just ran it up, crammed it up their throats down the middle, and then they drove and got their touchdowns and just kept going. And then it's like the 5 stages of grief for the Eagles, like they had the anger stage when the head of security instigated a punch against him and got somebody ejected, and that was the anger stage. And now we have gone to the bargaining and the acceptance stage. Oh, man. That same thing happens in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, something like that. John Lynch, general manager, is down there at the sideline walking around, kind of, with the other suits for the 49ers. I didn't know the general managers and those type of people were allowed to walk around on the sidelines with the team. I at least know in baseball, from what I heard at least, the GMs and those people are not allowed in the dugouts during the game. At least that's what I saw in the movie Moneyball, but I could be wrong about that. I haven't paid attention to baseball in so long that I barely know. Major League, I used to grow up. When I grew up, I was obsessed with Major League Baseball more so than NFL. But like at this point, following baseball is just like, like that ex-girlfriend that you just are so indifferent about. It's just like, eh. And then you have the NFL, which is like the new and exciting thing in your life. Hurts scrambling to his left. Just trotting. Nobody's open. Goes it back across. Boston Scott was open. Gets a first down and more. He's trying to get some garbage time stuff. Yeah, I agree with that with baseball. So baseball is the sport that's known as America's pastime, and it appeals to like all the people. It's like remember Babe Ruth or Stan Musial or Willie Mays, and then you can't even say the same thing about like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds anymore because they're all allegedly steroid users. So, and that's kind of where I got into baseball at the time because of all that happening. But I didn't know that at the time that they were all taking steroids and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, like I asked like casual people like in the past, like what they think about baseball, and they think it's like the most boring sport because you go there and a fly out, 3-2 count. They keep falling off pitches, and it's just like, oh, when is something exciting going to happen? And so, from time to time, like some things will happen that's exciting, like a robbed home run or a stolen base. It's a gentleman's sport, so to speak, kind of like golf. Like out of all the major sports, that's the most like gentleman type sport. Even though the players themselves aren't really that gentleman like at all. Like sometimes there can be brawls. They, like chew bubble gum, they chew tobacco, that sort of thing. Swiftled it up. I don't think I saw that yet. I think you're getting ahead of me here. All right. Let's see what happens. Oh! I see what you mean. Number two leading up 0. Yeah. Perfectly clean hit, too. By Lenoik. Yeah, true. Escorted by medical staff. The Lions switched up their turf on their field, which I think was a big cause for why players like Swift were getting injured so consistently. Like they have different turf and Ford Field this game, and I think that's helped reduce the amount of injuries for about as much as you can. Hurts running up the middle with it, gets sacked. But then Rod Wood told everybody in the offseason, yeah, we upgraded the turf to this different thing. And David Montgomery was running around in it, and he says it's the best turf he's ever seen. So definitely a PR thing on the Lions side. But, the higher-ups for the Lions definitely want to see the Lions improve. And if that means making the field safer for the players, then so be it. And there is that movement to try to get, grass going and less turf because, injuries. And that's something I've always kind of wondered about for the last few years, Hurts goes deep. Incomplete. Yeah. Never seen the fans get so defeated. Ever hear that? It's like Count Dooku said, or somebody said it. Twice the pride, double the fall. Like he had so much. If you have so much success for so long, then you struggle to be able to accept defeat. Whereas if you have somebody like grinding and they've experienced like defeat before, and then that makes them stronger, and then that makes them more resilient later in the season. That's, I think, what the Eagles are experiencing right now. And I think the best example I can think of what I'm talking about, when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl to the Giants after going undefeated, and then Bill Belichick just stomped off the field into the locker room, not wanting to talk to anybody. He's like, yeah. Twice the pride, double the fall. I think that's why a lot of people love picking on the Cowboys so much, because the Cowboys are always like the cockiest fan base, right? Like in a delusional way, like what everybody talks about with Scooter Magruder. Like the Cowboys, it's our year, and we're gonna win. And we lost that game because this and that, and that means the Eagles are still worse than us and everything. Like they always make it a war and then when they do lose, they make excuses. And then like when they lose to San Francisco in the playoffs, then you have people like Stephen A. Smith going fan by fan with their shocked faces, laughing at them. And that's what I mean by the phrase twice the pride, double the fall. You talk up your team so much like that without backing it up. And then when you do fail, then it's just like, oh, what was that you said? So the Cowboys, I think, are a good modern example of that. Yeah, that's why earlier I said stay classy, Eagles fans. They'll boo you and bully you for every single thing you do wrong. Like 2 years ago, the Eagles fans did that with the Eagles because they didn't run the ball until they started running the ball. And then they just barely made the playoffs, and then they got knocked out by Tampa Bay, I think it was, when Tom Brady was there. But yeah, this is going to change the way people, fans, sports broadcasters, people who run shows, YouTubers, view the top teams in the NFL now, because the 49ers are kicking the Eagles' ass now. Power rankings are going to change quite a bit. Things are going to get spiced up and are more interesting. So I think it's good for the sport that, the 49ers beat the Eagles, because if you have the Eagles keep winning, they're going to be they'll be the best team out of everybody in a boring way, because their record is far and away better than everybody else's. And they still will have the best record. But the fact that they got, blown out by another good team, that makes things more interesting, spices it up. Is San Francisco actually the better team? They had 3 losses, but that was because they had injuries. Makes more interesting debates and brings up the ratings and the clicks. So for the sake of entertainment for the NFL, I think it's also good that the 49ers won this game for that reason. As I keep asking about for how it affects the Lions, I think some Lions fans, there's probably Lions fans out there that wanted Philadelphia to win, because then they would move up to the number 2 seed. The thing is, though, it'd be harder to get the number 1 seed if Philadelphia keeps running away with it. But if San Francisco wins, then that opens up the number 1 seed race to the Lions, even if it means San Francisco jumps ahead of the Lions for now. Yeah, the announcers did point out that the Lions, out of all the good teams in the NFC, they have the easiest schedule. So they should be able to beat the Bears, even though it probably won't be easy in Soldier Field. And the Bears, I think defense has improved a lot. As we saw, there's a first down for them. The Bears secondary is really good at disguising their coverage, which is part of the reason why they got the turnovers that they have in the last 2 games. Not only that, but their front 7 is good at deflecting the passes and stuff. And I think the Bears deserve more credit. Yeah, that's fair. For the Lions, they got to make sure they stay ahead of Minnesota or potentially even Green Bay. And if you can secure the NFC North title sooner the better, because you can start resting your players in the last few games or so, rest your starters, and less risk of injury for when it comes time for the playoffs. Yeah. 15 seconds ago, kneeling. And just like that, I forgot what I was talking about. (42-19). Oh, I forgot to update that score earlier. But let's do that to make it official. But it's just like what I predicted in the offseason, Philadelphia, San Francisco are going to be the two top teams, and then the Lions and the Cowboys are going to be in the mix in those top teams as well. Then you'll have everybody else, and it's shaping out that way. And then who knows with the NFC South. All right, well, that was fun. I did 2 live streams today. That's what I intend to do for that. And then I probably won't do a primetime previews for Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, but I am planning something new for the next weeks of the games. So this has been fun. It's glad to be back here. Glad to see the Lions win. Glad to see this exciting game and all that. So thank you guys all for joining me. And until I'm going to go to Planet Fitness and I'm going to run on the treadmill or do something there. And I'll probably be on the Sunday Night Football live stream at Tom Grossi's there. And then, but yeah, until the next time, go Lions, win pride.